What's up guys, NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another episode of the 130 UT Draft Challenge, where today we're going to try and crack the code for the 130. We're going to build the 433. I've been reading through some of the comments of yesterday's video, and as I was reading it, one comment made really good sense and something that we're going to try here today. Before we get into that, if you guys are enjoying the content on the channel and you wouldn't mind dropping a thumbs up, it would be very much appreciated. And if you are new here, feel free to subscribe. This is a new rotation of players at left wing, including Rafael Leao and Pedro Neto. We almost never see that Rafael Leao, especially not actually in the left wing spot. He usually comes on the bench. We've also got Fabinho 95 here. But yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the content, drop a thumbs up, engage with the video in any way possible. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying it. It will show you more. We'll take Angelina because she's got right wing as an option as well. But the comment I want to start with today is from Sean Lewis. He says, you know that thing where you get 5 absolute stinkers on the reserves? And what he's talking about is when we build the starting 11, we take the subs, and then the reserves just happen to be terrible. He says, it's interesting that that hasn't happened yet when taking the reserves first. Makes me think that the dud picks occur in order of picks rather than where you've picked the team or the bench. Maybe try taking positions on the main team where you don't have good players in the reserves instead of where you do have them. I like that strategy because effectively what we're saying here now is if the last 5 picks are going to be bad, like standardly, if it's that final 5 that are just going to be bad, then let's make the final 5 picks in places where we've got good players. So one of the last picks now will be the left wing spot. So therefore, we'll save these, maybe these 2 here for like some of the last picks to try and kind of like keep the general standard of the draft really nice and high. I like that as an idea and I like that as a strategy, and we are going to test it here today. And on the flip side, when it comes to this situation here, for example, of, okay, we've got actually 2 bad defenders, Bastoni, we'll go out of our way to get centre-backs in next. And we get ourselves a 98 Carlos Alberto to go in at right-back. The draft in general here is okay. It's nothing crazy, but it's okay. But yeah, so we want the last picks to be for the winger, for the fullback spots. Obviously, I can't force the fullback spots, so we'll take the defender picks now because we need good defenders. And we get De Vries, which is an upgrade. And we'll get this next defender slot in, which is a bad pick. So now I'm going to go for the flex slot, because hopefully we'll get a good defender here. Which, we got an upgrade, not by much. And then, other than that, we kind of just need a bit of everything. Because the left wing's in a good spot. Let's take these kind of like flex spots again. We'll take Baturina. He can go in at centre mid. Not too bad, not too good. We've got Nakata. He can go in at centre mid. Love that a little bit more. So the centre mids are now very good. So we'll save these 2 spots for last. And although the goalkeeper isn't great at 94, we'll save that goalkeeper spot for one of the last spots too. We will take the forward spot. In fact, let's get that forward spot in now because I need a new striker, but more specifically a new right wing. And we get ourselves Mikael Forsberg, who's got left wing. Doesn't really help. Doesn't really help. I suppose I'll take Vanaken to go in at centre mid. And then, what's her face? Angelina can go in at right wing. There we go. So that upgraded that. Now we've got 6 slots left. Because we've already got 2 quite bad picks, I don't think we're going to get all bad here. But, yep, there's a bad pick. And as you can see, although the first 11 isn't insane, it's definitely the best that it could have been, with no duplicate positions thrown in, with no excess. You know, we don't have like 3 goalkeepers that are all insane and other areas of the team struggling massively. I really like the thought process behind ignoring positions effectively that we have depth in or quality in already, because how many drafts have we like seen quote unquote ruined based off of, you know, literally getting like 4 high quality left backs but nothing else. Like, so I really like the strategy. I really like the idea. We've got Bruno Guimaraes there. He'll give us a bit more chemistry. And although the draft itself isn't going to be spectacular, the first 11, as I say, is definitely the best it could have possibly been. It's only going to come in at a 128. If we put Philipp Lahm in there, we get 1 bonus chemistry. It's just De Vries now that doesn't get that full chem. We would need a nation manager link there. But yeah, with a 128 to start with, but I really, just generally speaking, like the strategy. I like the idea. I think we'll lean into that all for today. And yeah, let's get ourselves into attempt number 2. If you want to use the best players in FC25, there's only one sure way to get them. U7buy.com gives some of the best prices around for you to buy Ultimate Team coins. It's fast, safe, and reliable. And if you use code NEP at checkout, you will get 8% off their prices. So check the link in the description. All right, guys. I got a few comments in mind. The first one I want to take because it's a nice one. It's a fun one. It's from Dax. He says, what FIFA is your favorite when it comes to Fut Drafts? Like, what FIFA did you enjoy Fut Drafts the most? Probably, let's take the 4-3-3 attack. Probably, was it FIFA 15 the first year or was it FIFA 16 the first year? I can't recall. One of those, I would say. But just in general, those early years, I think, were brilliant because it was kind of new. It was a really good way to farm packs. And because I was really good at the game, I was able to kind of like actively earn really good packs and whatnot. I think in terms of like what it did for me, quote unquote, the year that I packed Hullet out of the draft rewards, we'll take Grön in there, out of that 50k pack reward, that's pretty good. Ooh, Team of the Year Jude, that's quite new. But the comment I was laughing at, and I was laughing because of some things that we've said about how, you know, draft is literally luck, right? There is like, you can maybe assign, I don't know, 3 to 5% of decision making in whether or not you're going to get like the absolute pinpoint perfect draft. Like here, right? The decision is, if I take Singo, could have taken an 89. If I take Georges and her 98 pops up next pick, you know, that's a decision. But the reality of the situation is that decision is ultimately meaningless because this draft, as we can see, isn't going to be a good draft. It just hasn't. It isn't that way. So with that in mind, the fact that getting the 130 comes down to dumb luck and very little skill. It's funny when I read comments like from Logan, and it's got a lot of thumbs up as well, which means obviously a lot of people like agree with him. I don't ever want to hear you complain about not getting the 130 when you're out here taking reserves before the starting 11 and bench. It never makes sense to take positionless picks over position-locked positions. Like, regarding that comment about it being more engaging, are we here to make choices or here to get the high-rated draft? I'm confused. The whole point is to get the highest-rated draft. You want to make fun choice draft. There's this cool thing called draft mode where you just do exactly that and you make choices every pick on who you want to use. Makes no sense. Wait, hold on. Are you saying if you want to do a make fun choices draft, there's this cool thing called draft mode where you do exactly that? Isn't that literally what I'm doing? Either way, right? Here's some food for thought for you, Logan. You say, I don't ever want to hear you complain about not getting the 130 when you're out here taking reserves before the starting 11 and bench. Let me ask you a question. When I was doing it by taking the starting 11 and then bench first, did I get a 130? Just something to think about. Just something to think about. Because the answer is no, I didn't. Which means, as we've discussed and discovered multiple times, the actual order with which you take the players has almost no implication whatsoever on whether or not you get yourself the 130. It comes down to dumb luck. There will be a draft where we just end up ripping like 499s and 398s in the first sort of like 10 or 11 picks, and that will be the draft that ultimately ends up being a 130, and it will have nothing whatsoever to do with the order of how I take the players or the whether I do it reverse, back to front, or upside down. It is blind dumb luck. Just the facts. It's just the facts. And so if we can take the draft, bit of minge for the boys. If we could take the draft in different ways that kind of leave a little bit of like jeopardy to a degree, or leave a little bit of like a little bit left to the imagination, then why not? You know, why not? This draft, however, in spite of everything, isn't actually that bad. However, I decided to do what Logan was alluding to here, and I took the starting 11, and then I took the bench, and then I took the reserves. And surprise, surprise, still not a 130. All right, guys, as we go into attempt number 3. Is this number 3? I think it is. There was a comment a draft or two ago that I didn't answer, but I did read out. And it was somebody said, was it last year? I think last year, whenever we saw that Team of the Year Zola card, that Team of the Year Zola icon come out, we just knew the draft was dead. And somebody had asked, what card is it this year that once you see it, you just know it's a dead draft? And I had the answer in my head. I just didn't get around to like reading the comment out or like responding to the comment, but I had the answer in my head. Luke in yesterday's video says, I've found every time you've seen Joe Cole in that right wing spot, the draft ends up being a dead draft. Soon as you see him, it's over. And that is exactly who was in my mind. As soon as we get any version of Joe Cole in the draft, it is toast. He just kills the draft, man. We get 97 Fernando Torres here. Benzema was there as well. Bogle's okay as well. Gervinho not ideal. Of course, we would prefer to have the 98 rated version of him. But instead, Vieira, whoa. We get 98 Eric Cantona. We get 97 Aitana Bonmati. And then at Cam, we get 96 Fernandez. Hey, listen. Blind, dumb luck. No skill here. No deliberation. No decision making. No ifs, buts, and maybe so's, or picking it front ways or back ways. Just blind, dumb luck. And this draft is looking good. But of course, if the bench and reserves don't present the hors d'oeuvres for us to eat and get the 130, then it's over. And as we can see with these cards right here, we need 2 centre-backs as a matter of urgency. In fact, we get Lizarazu at left back, but the back line has killed us. We fortunately get 97 Schmeichel. I mean, it's a 95 rated with 3 easily upgradable defenders and 2 easily upgradable attackers. Let's get into the defensive spot first. Okay, we get Junior Firpo 95. He goes in on full chem because of the amount of icons in the team, and that is a nice upgrade. Not as good as we need it to be, but it's nice. We get Van Dijk to go in. That's a small upgrade. A small upgrade on that centre-back spot. No upgrades there, unfortunately. No upgrades there, unfortunately. Now we need the left wing, the right wing. We get Johnson. I mean, he does upgrade us a little bit over Bogle, but it's nothing crazy. Gets us very close to full chem as well now because of the Premier League links in there. We get Lavoisier. She doesn't get into the team. 5 picks on the reserves. We get Noni Madueke. Also does not have left wing. And this is that situation of like, you know, going for the flex pick sometimes, woo-lay, and trying not to have multiple quality players from the same positions, because it just ruins it, really, doesn't it? Can we get Bonmati back in? Yes, we can. All right. I mean, listen, the draft's not going to be a 130 here, but a 129 I can absolutely see. Oh, maybe. Honestly, it's that left wing and centre back that's killing this draft. Those defenders are killing this draft. That is a shame, because this, I do think this is going to be a 129 comfortably. Once we get these larger players. I mean, the bench, for the first time in what feels like an absolute eternity, the bench is going to be juiced. Other than Lavoisier, yeah, and it was a 96 before we even switched. Other than Lavoisier, the bench is great. Those two centre-backs, Ferdinand and Van Dijk, and Gervinho at left wing have killed us. And it's another one of those situations where we've got Bogle 95 right wing, Rodman 95 right wing, Roulet 95 right wing, Johnson 96 right wing, Madueke 96 right wing. We have too many right wingers. All we needed was like a left winger. Not all we needed, but, you know, it would have helped. But we got two 99s in here, which was really nice, and a 98 Cantona. It's a big draft, but it's not what we're looking for. So let's get into attempt number 4. All right, guys. Here we go with number 4. We've got 4-5-1 attack could be fun. Let's do a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. There's nothing with wingers there. I know there's some good left mids, right mids. We'll start with Zola, as we were just talking about him hilariously being last year's draft killer. This year, not so much. Now, Eusebio does have a much higher rated card, but we can't really turn down a 95 rated when the rest of the cards are absolutely shoddy. And speaking of shoddy, this draft, maybe Zola is still the draft killer. Maybe, because this is not it. This is not it. Unless we pick up some... Never mind. I was going to say unless we pick up some big 90s and whatnot. I know Bentancur's got the winner's card. We finally get a decent rated card, the Ruben Neves, but we need 3 midfielders and 1 attacker and already 1 defender from the bench and reserves to upgrade this this team. So we're not looking good on this one. This is going to be a 1-2-8, probably at best, with the potential of a 1-2-9. Anara Dottir can go in there. She's good for those positional moves. And not even a good keeper, man. It's tough. It is tough out here. We get a good keeper with Jorgensen there. It gives us a bit of chemistry as well because of the Premier League links with Bentancur. We get 97 Ashley Cole. He can go in over Ruben Loftus-Cheeks. Swap with Ruben Neves. Swap with Koeman. And then swap with Anara Dottir. Great for the chemistry and for the rating there. Yeah, I'm going to take Philippe Lahm here over Masuaku just because our right back's not deserving, really, of being in the team. We get 93 Rude Boy. He can go up front. Gives us full chemistry. We've got almost a full icon draft here as well. We're only a few players short of an icon 11. Zaniolo gets onto the bench. I mean, 1-2-8 is looking more and more likely now. But not really what we want, to be fair. We lose 1 chem point with Schneider, but we gain a bit of rating. So I will put him in there. We'll take Minte, the 92 rated with the first 11 and bench. That is really poor. We get a 95 Matuidi who can go in at that CDM spot, which upgrades us a little bit more. We get 95 Majri, who also can go in over Wesley Schneider and upgrades us a little bit more. We get 92 Del Piero, who does not upgrade the team, but can go onto the bench. And then 90 Karachawi. And last but not least, 99 Beth Mead. Go in at Cam. And there's no chance this is a 1-2-6. 1-2-5 for sure. Like I said before, just it screams 1-2-5. It's just not a great draft. Sorry, not 1-2-5. Wow, if it was 1-2-5, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? It screams 1-2-8. Does this draft? And it's not even. Wow. Wow. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's go and get into attempt number 5. Mikel Arteta, baby. Let's go. All right, guys. As we get as we get further on, people are really weird in the comments. Jasper says, you made a big thing about doing the wheel, and 2 weeks later, there's no sign of it. First of all, that's not true. The last upload was 8 days ago for the wheel. Second of all, as I explained in the videos, my wife was away for a few days, so I was looking after the children. I just didn't have time. Well, I would have had time. I will have time if the wheel gives me like a low amount of drafts. But if the wheel gives like 25 drafts or 50 drafts, here we go. Joe Cole's here. We're ruined. if the wheel gives like 25 drafts or 50 drafts, I just don't have the time to do it at the moment. And especially like even right now in this moment, I don't. So I have to make a decision. Do I want to spin the wheel, maybe get 50 drafts and have to take like 2 days worth of time doing those 50 drafts, get a video out, which would then mean no draft on one of those days. Oh, they both got high rated cards there. Or do I do a regular draft? And then at least there's a draft there. But also when it comes to the wheel, because we hadn't got to the point where we're putting the la 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 bonta extra challenges on, it was the same as what we're doing now, just with more, or sometimes the same. It really doesn't matter that much. It's just not that deep. It feels like there's a small group of people, especially after that guy yesterday that I ended up blocking, that are going out of their way to kind of find any reason to hate the content. And listen, if you don't enjoy it, that's absolutely fine. Like, you don't have to watch. You don't have to click on the draft every day. But I don't know why you would think that there would be some kind of like nefarious reason around not building the draft, or not spinning the wheel, should I say. And then the comment literally right underneath that I kind of like glossed over whilst I was coming back into this draft here. I haven't read it all yet, but my eyes saw enough to know that I'm gonna have to fight with this guy. Another day, another 130 draft challenge. Yep, that's what we've been doing. I don't know how that's a surprise, but that's what we've been doing. Let's be honest, shall we? You just won't do the wheel challenges. You're just going to postpone it until the game's end, and it'll be another one of those from those promises that we keep talking about until we do the same challenge until the game's gone, and yay, we're excited for the new game. I love your content, watch it every day, but I'd just stop promoting something not happen. I'm just a bit perplexed. Like, when I'm talking in these videos, I'm talking for 20 to 30 minutes straight. If an idea pops into my head of, oh, this would be cool, maybe we'll do that, I'm not sitting here signing a contract. Nice, Hullet. Signing a contract, like promising A, B, C, and D. It's just drafts, man. I want to get the 130 more than I want to, I don't know, let's say, do an icon challenge. I want to get the 130. It's something I want to do. And so it's not like having the wheel challenges are going to like significantly change the game. It's not going to reinvent, excuse the pun, the wheel, you know? It literally just comes down to has Lucio got centre back? Got right back. That's a shame. It literally just comes down to me just wanting to have fun building drafts, and I have got plenty of ideas in my mind of what will be fun to do in those drafts, but they take time, man. They take time. My kids are on their school holidays. I've got 3 children. I've got a wife. I've got more than just this draft channel. You know, I've got multiple channels that I take care of and whatnot. And it's just, even if I have an idea that I think would be fun, sometimes I just don't have the time to do it, man. You don't have to get at me for it. I'm not promising you things, all right? I think we're going a little overboard with finding a reason, and to say it's another one of those promises. What promises have I broken? It's draft, man. People just want to see a draft. Relax. Let's get into attempt number 6. All right, guys. As we go into the last attempt for today, we've got another one. Another comment. One more comment for today. What formation are we going to get, though? We're going to take the 4-2-4 today as the last one. Nizzy says, that Lena Hertig, when will you realise that having high-rated players on the bench rather than in the squad makes zero difference? You put Ashley Cole at centre-back and nothing changed. This draft's cooking at the moment. Still enjoy watching these videos, but sometimes you do silly things. Putting Ashley Cole at centre-back, something did change. You just didn't get to see it because EA only show us in integers of ones rather than points. But changing a player from the bench to the starting 11, damn, this draft is cooking. Do I want to take left back, centre back, or left back, right back? Probably left back, centre back. It absolutely has a difference. And I will show it and prove it to you here. And even then, it doesn't matter. Like, if I did put Ashley Cole in and Lotte Vipenmoy, and if he did upgrade the rating, obviously it's at the cost of chemistry anyway, so it actually wouldn't have made an impact or a difference. But as we build into this draft here, Schwab, I will show you. I will prove it to you that the players on the bench in a starting, or do I want Fox here, or do I want Reynard? Still kind of want Fox anyway. He gives the chemistry to Hurtig. She helps out a little bit. Got to get rid of that centre back anyway. Yeah, I lost my train of thought there, but they make a difference. Not a huge difference, but the starting 11 has more weight on the overall rating of the draft comparative to the bench. And as I say, I will show it. There's our 99. I was waiting for one because this draft's got some potential, man. This draft's got some potential. We need a new centre back, but we've got some good spots, and if we can pick up a couple more, like high rated cards, right? Let me show you now. So we are 94 rated with these players. If we go and put Schwab in over Toon, did that change? No. If we then put Ziyech in over Puyol, that take us down? No. If we then put Roussillon in over Arnaud-Dottir, we go down yet? Not yet. Let me just throw all of the lower rateds in there for the time being. In before it still doesn't actually move it down. And then Ratiu in there. Have I even got any lower rated? There you go. Went down to 93. You see? So it's not a significant difference. But if and obviously, like I say, like when I put Cole in at centre back, he wouldn't have had the chemistry anyway. So the only time it will ever actually be important for me in the draft phase is if I only lost one chem point, for example, but got a significantly higher rating to the point where the rating still surpasses the 130. But yeah, these are the same players. The same players. There you go. That's the easier way to see. Just off of that one switch there. It's the same 18 players. But with the worst players in the starting 11, it's a 93 rated squad. And then with the just one extra player in the starting 11, it upgrades. But yeah, for the sake of the point, it does matter. It doesn't matter much. It doesn't matter much. That is fair to say. But it doesn't not matter. Now then, with this draft, we must be quite close to a 95 actually already, which is really, really nice because we've got 5 picks to go here. The bench is quite stinky, so if we do get a really nice set of reserves, we could be cooking here a little bit. It's a shame because Barella, the 96, but doesn't get into the first 11. But Almiron 95 upgrades Araujo, swaps around there, and that takes us to a 95 rated draft. We're 2 ratings away from the 130. There's Joe Cole, the draft killer. Anjoye can go in there anyway. Not that she upgrades much. Chemistry was already maxed out. She gives us a little +1. We get Maele, which offers us nothing. We get Cole, which offers us nothing. And this draft's going to die a sorry, sorry death once again, isn't it? We get 95 Ramirez. This bench, again, guys, is bad. Do you know what's going to be crazy as well? If this actually pops up to a 96, it didn't. Look at that bench. If this bench was the same as the bench a few drafts ago, this is a one. This goes up to a 97. I'm confident. The starting 11 here is very, very, very good. The bench is very bad. The reserves are even worse. For today, that is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, guys, I'm out. Peace.